I am audible. That one is to clearly, Ajit,
Yes, sir.
and
Sir,
yeah.
you're audible.
Okay, yeah. Uh, Counterflow arrangement. The meaning of the counterflow arrangement is that the hot fluid and cold fluid are in the flowing in the a different direction. That one is understand here. So this one is the a cold fluid flow here, and this one is the direction of the hot fluid flow, and this one is called as the again that one is the so direction of the a cold fluid. This is a concentric tube. Understand what the flow arrangement is called as a concentric tube, and the hot fluid directions from left to right, and then is the cold fluid direction is from right to left here. That is understand. So this is the what is the meaning of that is the counter flow arrangement. As we discussed in the previous class, the parallel flow arrangement. So that's one is the we derived the equations of the parallel flow arrangement. So that is the LMTD method, and today we are going to discuss about that counter flow arrangement. The meaning of the counter flow arrangement: the hot fluid and cold fluid so flow in the different directions, hence the heat exchange will be taking place from hot fluid to cold fluid in the better manner as compared to the parallel flow heat exchanger. Whenever they ask the questions that what is that one is which one is the better, counter flow arrangement is better or that parallel flow arrangement is better, so if they ask the questions like that, the counter flow arrangement is better. So the effectiveness of the counter flow arrangement is greater than the parallel flow arrangement, because the hot fluid and cold fluid will be flow in the different direction, means that one is in the opposite direction. That one is okay. So that's what is the picture is giving. That one is here. See, that one is the diagram here. What is that one is the temperature distribution along the temperature diagram here. Understand? This is called as a temperature distribution. So that one is the so here x-axis represents the area and y-axis represent the what is called as a temperature distribution. So here is the counter flow. So counter flow means that it is hot fluid. Okay, hot fluid flowing from left side to the right side. That one is. So here the TH1 is called as that one is the inlet temperature of the hot fluid, and TH2 here TH2 is called as the outlet temperature of the hot fluid. And the cold fluid is moving from this direction to this direction. Understand? Okay. The inlet temperature of the cold fluid is TC1 and outlet temperature of the cold fluid is TC2 here. That one is okay. So this is the direction of the cold fluid here. That one is here. The what is given that one is here. That one is they taken the element. Okay. So this they taken the element. Heat transfer to the element. Understand? Heat transfer to the element is dQ, and this one is the TH. Okay. This TH is called as the average temperature of the hot fluid, inlet and outlet condition, and this is called as a TC. TC is called as the average temperature of the cold fluid temperature, inlet and outlet cold fluid temperature. Okay, so TH minus TC is called as a theta here. Understand? Then what is that one is this difference is called as a DTH, and here this difference is called as a DTC. That one is DTH is nothing but that one is the quantity of temperature lowers the what is the quantity which temperature hot fluid temperature. Understand? So the quantity of the hot fluid temperature, how much it is lowest, means that is called as a DTS. That one is okay. Then so DTC is means that one is the quantity of temperature. So for the cold fluid, which that one is extracted from the hot fluid, which is extracted from the hot fluid. That one is to increase the temperature of the cold fluid here. That one is so that is called as the DTC here. That one is okay. This the outlet temperature conditions of the hot fluid and cold fluid TH2, but here that not shown here. That one is TH2 minus TC1. Understand? TH2 minus TC1 is called as a theta 2 here. Understand? TH2 minus TC1, okay, is called as a, what is called as a theta 2 here. So what is the TH2? Outlet temperature of the hot fluid. What is the TC1? Inlet temperature of the cold fluid. Understand? Sorry, inlet temperature of the cold fluid. So TH2 minus TC1 are called as the a theta 2 here. Here in this here, that's one is, so TH1 minus TC2, TH inlet temperature of the hot fluid, outlet temperature of the cold fluid, is the difference of these two temperature are called as the, what is called as a theta 1 here, that one is. Understand? Hence, then TH minus the average temperature of the hot fluid minus the average temperature of the cold fluid is called as a theta here, that one is. Okay, as we discussed, that one is the dA is called as, that one is the elemental area which is considered here, that one is. Okay, elemental area which is considered, this one is. Okay, if they ask anything, that one is the counterflow arrangement derivations. First you have to draw this diagram, and this is the curve, that's the temperature distribution curve. So along the counterflow arrangement, that one is. Understand? Okay. So this is the what is called as descriptions of the both the diagrams here, that is. Okay. The next slide. Yes. Here, let us consider the elemental area. What we consider? Let us consider the elemental area dA of the heat exchanger. The rate of flow of heat through this elemental area is given by, that one is the, what is the dQ? Understand? dQ is equal to U into dA. So dH minus TH minus TC, that one is. Understand? So this is the TH minus TC, that is the difference between the average temperature of the hot fluid minus average temperature of the cold fluid. You have to take, that one is. So dQ, what the dQ represent? The heat transfer to the elemental area. Understand? Heat transfer to the elemental area, you need to first identify, that one is. Then, so that's dQ is equal to U into dA into TH minus TC. What is the U? U is called as the overall heat transfer coefficient. Understand? Then we can write this equation U into dA, U into dA here. So U into dA, so into d delta T here. In this case also, due to the transfer dQ, heat transfer dQ through the area dA, the hot fluid is cooled down. Why it is cooled down? Because whatever the heat transfer from the hot fluid to the cold fluid. Understand? Hot fluid is cooling and the cold fluid is getting the heated. Understand? The temperature of the cold fluid will be increases. Okay, hot fluid is cooled down by the dTH, where the cold fluid is heated by dTC. The energy balance or the differential area dA may be written as you know, that one is the, so dQ is equal to minus m dot. What is the m dot here? M dot is called as a mass flow rate of the hot fluid. CPH is called as a specific heat of the hot fluid into dTH. What is the dTH? dTH is called as the hot fluid is cooled down by the dTH. The amount of the temperature, the amount of which is cooled, that one is the, what is called as a hot fluid. Okay, so that is called as a dTH. That's also equal to minus m dot C. Okay, minus m dot C into CPC into dTC here, that one is. Okay, so dQ also can be calculated from the hot fluid and from the cold fluid here, that one is. Understand? Okay, why are you taking the minus sign here? Okay, in the what is called as in the parallel flow heat exchanger, so minus sign is only related to the hot fluid. But here in this case, a certain is the minus sign you are taking for the both the fluids here. Why? In the counterflow arrangement, understand, in the counterflow arrangement, the temperature of the both the fluids decreases in the direction of the heat exchanger length. Okay, go to the previous slide. Go to the previous slide. Here if we consider that one is the length of the, as the length of the heat exchanger increases, that one is hot fluid temperature is also decreases, understand, and the cold fluid temperature is also decreases, that one is, understand. Okay, where the cold fluid temperature TC2 is greater than the TC1. So I'm right? Yes. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one is TC1 is less than the TC2, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and TH1 is TH1 is greater and TH2 is greater. TH2 is less than TH1. Understand? Okay. Hence, as the length of heat exchanger, as the length of the heat exchanger increases, both the temperature, both the fluid temperature decreases, that one is. Understand? Hence, that's why we are taking the what is called as a negative sign on the both sides, that one is. Next slide. Yes. Okay. That's why. So we are taking the previous one. Yes. Hence, that's why we are taking that one is the. So what is that? Both the fluids having it. That one is the, in order to calculate the what is called as the temperature, we are taking this one as the dq is equal to minus sign into mh. So mh into cph into dth. So mc into cpc into dtc, we are taking that one. So in the counterflow, the temperature of both the fluids decreases in the direction of the heat exchanger length, hence the negative sign we are taking that one. Okay. Then, so from this equation, okay, from this, what is the 10.12 equation? So what is the DTH? You have to note down. And what is the DTC? You have to note down that. Okay. So from this equation, what is the DTH? DTH is equal to DQ divided by, okay, minus of DQ divided by MH into CPH. Okay. From this equation. Okay. Here you're taking that name. So minus DQ, so divided by CH, capital C. So here the capital C here, understand? Here that one is the capital C here, and this one is the CPH is a small c here, that one is. So capital C is nothing but that one is the capacity of hot water. Okay, capacity of hot water, that's capital C suffix to the H is equal to the m dot ch, m dot h into cph, mass flow rate into specific heat is called as the capacity of the hot fluid here, that one is. Understand? So that's why you have to note down the DTH value, that one is. Same thing, similarly, you have to note down that one is the DTC value here. Okay, DTC from this equation, what is DTC? Is the minus of DQ divided by M dot CPC here. Okay, here that one is the minus DQ divided by CC here. Okay, what is the CC? C suffix to the C is called as a capacity of the cold fluid. Capacity of the cold fluid here, that one is. Understand? Okay, so C suffix to the C is called as M dot C into CPC. Understand? Mass flow rate of the cold water into the specific heat of the cold water, that is equal to, so C suffix to the C, that is called as a capacity of the cold fluid. So difference of these two, what is called as DTH minus DTC. Difference of these two you have taken that is DQ you have to take the common, DQ you have to take the minus, DQ you have to take the common, that becomes 1 upon CH minus 1 upon CC. Okay, minus DQ divided by so dq into 1 upon cs minus 1 upon cc, you will get this equation certainly. Okay, next one. So in the diagram, previous, in the diagram, what is, go to the previous slide. Next one.
Which one, sir? This one again, sir. Diagram.
Next one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, yes, correct. Okay, you keep it here. Okay.
Okay.
dth minus dtc is d theta. Understand from the diagram. Okay, you come to know about that one is from the diagram. dth minus dtec is called as a d theta here. That one is. So keep it as it is. That one is the minus dq 1 upon ch minus 1 upon cc. That one is. Understand? Okay. So you have to note down that one is. Okay. Next slide. Yes. So so as that one is the d theta that one is from the, what is it? But d theta is equal to dq. dq value, you know that one is. Understand? So in the previous slide, that one is the, we discuss what is the dq that one is. Okay. dq is equal to minus of that one is dq is equal to u into dA into th minus tc. Understand? So how to calculate the dq? dq means that one is called the heat transfer to the elemental area. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is u into dA into th minus tc here. That is. So you have to put that value. Okay. And so put the remaining as it is, that is 1 upon ch minus 1 upon cc here. That is. Understand? Okay. So that one is the next one. What is the th minus tc? From the diagram, first slide, that is from the diagram. So th minus tc, you note that term is theta. Understand? Okay. From the diagram, you can note that th minus tc is equal to theta. That one is. Understand? So that's the next simplified equation is minus of u. Understand? Minus of u dA into theta into 1 upon ch minus 1 upon cc here. That one is. Understand? Okay. Next one is, you have to take theta, whatever the theta here, you have to take in this side. So that becomes d theta divided by theta. So that is equal to minus u dA into 1 upon ch minus 1 upon cc here. That one is. Understand? So if we take the theta in this side, so that becomes d theta divided by theta minus u into dA. So 1 upon cs minus 1 upon cc here. That one is. Understand? So this is the, what is called as the d theta divided by theta. This is only considered for the element. Understand? This is only considered for the element, but we need to calculate the heat transfer for the entire length. Understand? We need to consider the heat transfer. So for the entire length, that one is. What we need to do, that one is, we have to integrate. We have to integrate this equation. Understand? Whatever this equation is there, you know, this equation. So we need to integrate. Understand?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes. Yes. This equation, whatever this equation here, so you need to integrate this equation. Understand? So integrate. What is the limit of this one is? Limit is from A equal to 0. Initial, that's area equal to 0. Final area is equal to A here. Understand? So final area is equal to A here. So that one is integration of 1 upon theta. Integration of 1 upon theta here. Integration of 1 upon theta is equal to ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. Understand? Because 1 to 2. Condition is integration of 1 to 2. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Understand? Yes. Condition is the integration from 1 to 2 here. That is, if you integrate the d theta divided by theta, that becomes ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. That one is. Understand? That
Yes, sir.
is equal to, but here in this equation, area only you need to integrate. Understand? So U is a constant and 1 upon CH minus 1 upon CC are the constant. You have to take outside. So integration of A, dA, that is equal to A here. Understand? Integration of dA is equal to A here, that is. So that's becomes, okay. That's the resulting equation is ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. That is equal to minus of what is called as U into A. So that one is 1 upon CS minus 1 upon CC here, that is. Then we need to substitute the what is the value of 1 upon CH. Understand? Here here that is 1 upon CH is there, 1 upon CC is there. Understand? CH and CC are called as the capacity of the hot water and CC is called as the capacity of the cold fluid. Understand? Okay. So you need
Yes,
to
sir.
substitute these values. How to substitute that one is? Then for the total heat transfer, Q is equal to, understand, Q is equal to, what is that one is? So Q is equal to, yes. Q is equal to, what is that one is? CH into TH1 minus TH2. Understand? Okay. So what is the TH1? TH1 is called as the inlet of the hot fluid. TH2 is called as the outlet of the hot fluid. So CH is called as the capacity of the hot fluid. So by using this equation, you can also calculate the what is the heat transfer for the what is called as total heat transfer, that is, understand, for the entire length of the heat exchanger. The Q also may be calculated. Understand? Q also we can calculate what is called as C suffix to the C. What is the meaning of the C suffix to C? That is called as the capacity of the cold fluid. So you can calculate that one is mass flow rate into specific heat, that one is. Understand? So TC2 minus TC1. So by using this equation also, you need to calculate the what is called as the total heat transfer rate between the two fluids, that one is. Understand? So that one is TC2 is called as the outlet temperature of the hot fluid minus TC1 is called as the inlet temperature, cold fluid, okay? TC2 is called as the outlet temperature of the cold fluid and TC1 is called as the inlet temperature of the cold fluid here, that one is. Okay. By using this equation, understand, by using this equation, you come to know what that one is, what is the 1 upon CH values and what is the 1 upon CC values. 1 upon CH value is TH1 minus TH2 is equal to Q, right?
Yes, sir.
Then 1 upon CC value is the TC2 minus TC1 divided by Q here, that one is. Understand? Okay. Then these 1 upon CH value, 1 upon CC value, you need to substitute this equation. Understand? You need to substitute this equation. Then, then what happened? Ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1, okay, is equal to minus U of A. What is that one is? What is the TH1 upon CH value? TH1 minus TH2, correct? TH1 minus TH2 divided by Q here. Minus of TC2 minus TC. What is 1 upon CC value? 1 upon CC value you have to substitute here. TC2 minus TC1 divided by Q here. Okay. Then, so you have to take Q outside. You have to take Q outside and rearrange all these things. Understand? Rearrange all these things in such a way that, so you should get that one is theta 1 and theta 2. What is the theta 1? Understand? Theta 1, so that one is the here. First slide. This one is the first start of the counter flow one. Yes. What is the theta 1? Theta 1 is equal to TH1 minus TC2, correct? Okay. TH1 minus TC2. This is the theta 2, this side. This is TH2 minus TC1 is called as the theta 2 here. Understand? So TH2 minus TC1 is called as the theta 2 here, that one is. Understand? Okay. So write that. So here, so okay. Previous slide. Yes. Okay. Here, so TH1 minus TC2. So you have to rearrange that one is minus TH2 minus of TC1. Okay. So that's the next simplified equation is minus U or A of Q. That's theta 1. What is the theta 1? That one is TH1 minus TC2. That is called as a theta 1 minus of theta 2 here. If we're taking the minus inside, that becomes theta 2 minus theta 1. Understand? So that is theta 2 minus theta 1. UA divided by Q is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1 here. That is. Understand? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next slide. Here. So substitute that is. So from the previous simplified equation, how to calculate the Q? Q is equal to UA theta 2 minus theta 1 divided by ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. So that one is Q is equal to UA theta M. So theta M is called as the, what is called as LMTD of counter flow. LMTD of the counter flow here, that one is. Understand? So theta M is equal to theta 2 minus theta 1 divided by ln of theta 2 divided by theta 1. Or we can interchange theta 1 minus theta 2 in the denominator part also. You can interchange that one is. Understand? So you have to calculate that's theta M. After the calculation of theta M, you have to put here in the Q equation. Then you can calculate what is the heat transfer. So if you know the heat transfer, if you know the theta M, then what is the length or area of the heat exchanger, you can calculate. Understand? If they given the overall heat transfer coefficient U here. Understand? Okay. So you come to know about that one is in the parallel flow heat exchanger and in the counter flow heat exchanger, theta M formula are the same. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? All
Yes,
of
sir.
you getting that one is? If you go to the data handbook, that one is, or in the previous slides, what is that one is? Theta M formula in the parallel flow and counter flow, that will be the same. Understand? Then what is the difference here? What is the difference? Theta 1 value will be difference because of the counter flow. Understand? Theta 2 will be difference. The formula will be the same. Understand? But theta 1 is called as inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus outlet temperature of the cold fluid in case of the what is called as counter flow. But in the what is called as the parallel flow heat exchanger, theta 1 value is called as inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid. Because of the direction will be changes. Understand? I'm correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Because of that one is direction will be changes in the parallel flow and the counter flow. That's theta 1 and theta value will be different. That one is. Understand? As that one is the formula will be the same, but theta 1 and theta 1 and theta 2 value will be the different. That one is for the counter flow and parallel flow heat exchanger. That one is. Okay. Keep it in mind. That one is. Understand? Okay. This is the derivations of the what is called as the LMTD method for the counter flow heat exchanger here. That okay. Do you have any doubt here regarding this one?
No, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir. No doubt? No, sir.
Yes. We'll go for the what is called as the numerical flow here. Understand? So numericals on the counter flow. Previous one, previous. Numericals. So for the counter flow heat exchanger, that one is the yes. We'll solve the one numericals here. That is called as the on the counter flow heat exchanger. Okay. So here the given the what is called as in counter flow double pipe heat exchanger. So this is the what is the given diagram is called as a double pipe. Okay, this is the inner diameter and this are called as the outer diameter. This is called as a double pipe. Okay, in counter flow double pipe heat exchanger, water is heated. Counter flow. Counter flow means certain is the hot fluid in the middle. Understand? Hot fluid is in the one direction and the cold fluid in the analog space moving in the other direction, opposite directions to the hot fluid here. That is okay. So in the count that is called as a counter flow. Double pipe heat exchanger. Water is heated. Understand? Water is heated from 25 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. Here, water. So, analog space, both in the analog spaces, understand? Okay? So, this one is the water is heated from 25 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. You know this one is. Understand? So, here from this diagram, you know that one is 25 degrees Celsius is the inlet temperature of the cold fluid and 65 degrees Celsius is the outlet temperature of the cold fluid here. That one is. Understand? So heating will be from 25 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. By an oil. How? By an oil with a specific heat of 1.45 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Remember that one is specific heat of the oil. This one is 1.45 kilojoules of per kg Kelvin. Oil is called as a hot fluid here. Understand? Oil is called as the hot fluid here. Water is called as the water is heated from 25 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius. Means that one is water temperature is increases, oil temperature is decreases. That one is. Understand? And mass flow rate of the oil is equal to 0.9 kg per second. Okay, specific heat of the oil is given 1.45 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and mass flow rate of the oil is given 0.9 kg per second. The oil is cooled. Okay, so that means the inlet oil is cooled 230 degrees Celsius to 160 degrees Celsius. It is cooling means it transferring the heat, oil transferring the heat to the water. Understood? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Oil is transferring the heat. Oil is flowing in the inner space. Understand? So inlet temperature of the oil is 230 degrees Celsius and outlet temperature of the oil is 160 degrees Celsius. Means that decreases in the temperature of the oil means it transfer the heat to the water and water is getting heated from 25 degrees Celsius to 65 degrees Celsius here. The condition is counter flow heat exchanger. The specific heat of the oil is 1.45 kilojoules per kg Kelvin and mass flow rate of the oil is 0.9 kg per second. That one is. In some cases, mass flow rate is given, kg per hour is given. So you can convert that one into the kg per second for the calculation. Okay. The oil is cooled from 230 degrees Celsius to 160 degrees Celsius if the overall heat transfer coefficient is 420 watt per meter square degree Celsius. Calculate the following. One is rate of heat transfer Q, capital Q you need to calculate. Then mass flow rate of the water. Mass flow rate of the water you need to calculate. Mass flow rate of the oil is given, but you need to calculate the mass flow rate of the water you need to calculate. Then the next one is surface area of the heat exchanger you need to calculate here. Understand, surface area of the heat exchanger you need to calculate. Then which one is the cold fluid here? Water is the cold fluid. And which one is the hot fluid here? Oil is the hot fluid. The heat transfer from the oil to the water will be taking place, and we need to identify the how much of the heat transfer and how much of the mass flow rate occurs of the water. Then what is the surface area of the heat exchanger? You need to calculate that one is. Okay, as per the counter flow diagram, understand? So you have to draw this diagram, temperature distribution. What is the counter flow? Counter flow is called as the, if the both the fluids are in the different direction, opposite direction, flow direction is opposite, that is called as the counter flow. So the hot fluid, okay, that is called as the oil flowing in this direction. What is the inlet temperature of the hot fluid? TH1, okay, 230 degrees Celsius here. And what is the outlet temperature of the hot fluid? TH2, that is called as the 160 degrees Celsius here. Cold fluid, okay, cold fluid direction is from this direction to this direction here. What is the inlet temperature of the cold fluid? Cold fluid is called as a water. That's a TC1. That is equal to 25 degrees Celsius. And what is the TC2? Outlet temperature of the cold fluid. Here that one is called as a 65 degrees Celsius. Okay. This side, that is called as the temperature difference of these two fluids, is called as a theta1. And this side temperature difference is called as the theta2 here, that one is. Understand? Then we need to identify the LMTD. So you have to draw the figure before going to discuss about that one is. Understand? Okay. The next slide. Here, okay. Yes. Here, what is the inlet temperature here? Sorry, previous.
Yes, sir.
Previous. Okay. Okay. This one. So solution. What is the inlet temperature of the cold fluid? So that one is the 25 degrees Celsius. Understand? Okay. What is the outlet temperature? TC2 is called as a 65 degrees Celsius. Then what is called as the specific heat of the oil? That's 1.45 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. What is the mass flow rate of the hot fluid? Hot fluid is called as the oil. So that is called as the 0.9 kg per second here. That one is. Then what is the inlet temperature of the hot fluid or oil? That one is 230 degrees Celsius. What is the outlet temperature of the hot fluid? That is TH2. That is 160 degrees Celsius. Then overall heat transfer coefficient is, that one is the 420 watt per meter square degrees Celsius. That one is. So these are the given data here. That one is. First, what you need to calculate? You need to calculate rate of heat transfer. Rate of heat transfer, because they given the inlet temperature of and outlet temperature of the both the fluids. Understand? Inlet temperature and outlet temperature of the both the fluids. So the mass flow rate of the hot fluid is given. Understand? But the mass flow rate of the cold fluid is not given. That one is. Understand? Okay. Using this equation, what is called as the TH1 minus TH2, or inlet temperature and outlet temperature of the heat fluid, hot fluid, you can calculate it, what is the Q here. You can also use the cold fluid. Q is equal to MC into CPC into TC2 minus TC1. Why you are not using? But they doesn't given the mass flow rate of the cold fluid, water. Understand? Hence, they are not using in order to calculate the Q here. Understand? Okay? Q you can calculate it. That is equal to M dot H into CPH. What is the M dot H here? Mass flow rate of the hot fluid. CPH is called as a specific heat of the hot fluid. They given 1.45 kilojoules per kg Kelvin into TH minus TH1 minus TH2 here. That is. So Q is equal to mass flow rate of the hot fluid is 0.9 is given and 1.45. Okay, 1.45. So you can convert that one into the joules. Understand? You can. So in this one they didn't convert that one is. So, but you need to convert that one into the, always the Q should be in the watt. Okay, for the calculation should be, it is a better to put in the watt. Hence, that one is, it so you have to take into the watt, you have to convert that one into the kilojoules into the joules. That one is 1.45 into 10 raised to minus 10 raised to 3, you will get that one is, what is the inlet temperature of the hot fluid? That is 230 minus 160, that is the outlet temperature of the hot fluid here. That one is after the calculations 91.35 kilojoules per second. What is called as the rate of heat transfer, you will get that one is, understand, or 91.35 into 10 raised to 3 joules per second or watt. Okay, you will get that one is, okay. This is called as the rate of the heat transfer here. That then how to calculate the mass flow rate? Okay, mass flow rate of the water. So mass flow rate of the water, you can calculate it by using the equation. What is called as, whatever the heat loss by the oil, the heat transfer is taking place from oil to the water here. Oil as a hot fluid, water as a cold fluid. Understand? Heat lost by the hot oil, that is called as a hot fluid, that is equal to heat gained by the water, that is called as a cold fluid here. That is. How to calculate the heat loss by the oil? You already calculated here. Okay, same thing you have to put here. That is. Understand? This is the
Yes, sir.
heat transfer or heat loss by the oil here. That is. Heat transfer, okay, heat gained by the water, that is m dot, okay, mass flow rate of the cold fluid into CPC of the cold fluid, that is called as a water. So into TC2 minus TC1, that is outlet temperature of the cold fluid minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid here. That one is, okay. So that one is already calculated 19.35. That one is into m30, that's m dot c. M dot c, you need to calculate that one is, understand, 4.187. The specific heat of water is a constant. Understand? Specific heat
Yes, sir.
of the water is a constant. That one is 4.187 or 4.2. You can take that one is, okay. Here, see here, that one is 91.35. It is in kilojoules per second, correct? But here also, we are not multiplying the 10 raised to 3 here. Understand? So we can balance that one is the SI unit, we can balance here. Okay. So 91.35 into m dot c. So 4.187. So that one is the specific heat of the water, constant, 65. Outlet temperature of the here, you can know that one is outlet temperature of the cold fluid is 65 degrees Celsius minus inlet temperature of the, what is called as a cold fluid, that is called as the water. So only this one is remaining is m dot c. M dot c, you can calculate it. That is, put all these things values and calculate. You will get that is 0.45 kg per second. 0.545 kg per second. That one is 0.545 kg per second. That one is called as a mass flow rate of cold fluid. That is mass flow rate of water here. That one is. Understand? Okay. So next slide. Yes, here. Then mass flow rate you need to calculate it. But what you need to calculate, third one is called as surface area of the heat exchanger. So surface area of the heat exchanger. How to calculate the surface area of the heat exchanger? You know this formula, Q is equal to UA theta M. This formula is available in the data handbook also. Page number 150 or 3 or 150, that one is the page number 150, that one is this the formula which is available in the data handbook. Theta M formula is also available in the data handbook. That one is, okay. So that one is, the notation will be maybe some difference is there, but the formula will be same. That one is, it's available in the data handbook. So before going to calculate the surface area, we need to calculate the theta M. because that is a LMTD method, okay, for the counter flow. We need to calculate the theta m. What is the theta m? Logarithmic mean temperature difference is given by theta m is equal to theta 1 minus theta 2 divided by ln of theta 1 divided by theta 2. What is the theta 1? Theta 1 is called as the, okay, theta 1. Okay, what is the theta 1? Okay, theta 1 is that one is the first I discussed with that one is the diagram TH1 minus TC2. What is the TH1? TH1 is called as the inlet temperature of the hot fluid minus TC2. So TC2 is called as the outlet temperature of the cold fluid, that one is. Understand? So that is called as a theta 1 here. What is the theta 2? Theta 2 value is called as the, so that one is the outlet temperature of the hot fluid minus inlet temperature of the cold fluid, that is called as the theta 2 value here, that one is. Understand? So substitute all these things here, all the temperature, outlet temperature and inlet temperature conditions, you know what that one is. Substitute all these things, that one is, then theta m value you will get that one is around 149.5 degrees Celsius. That is called as the theta m. That is the logarithmic mean temperature difference is given by that one is the theta m is equal to 149.5 degrees Celsius. You have to put this theta m value in this equation. What is the U? Already you know that one is U is 420 watt per meter square Kelvin in the given data. That's one is. Okay, Q is already calculated. What is the Q value? 91.35 into 10 raised to 3. You taken is the 10 raised to 3. That becomes joules per second. Understand? Watt. Okay. So that's one is the, so A can be calculated Q divided by U into theta m. So AQ is 91.35 into 10 raised to 3 divided by U value. It is already given in the statement of the problem, 420 watt per meter square Kelvin into 149 theta m value. Theta m value you already calculated here, 149.5. That is equal to 1.45 meters square. This is the area of the heat exchanger. Understand? This is called as the area of the heat exchanger, that one is. Okay. So